All right, I want to give you something that was revealed on Fox yesterday, and I want to give you some perspective on this. According to Fox News, the State Department refused to grant official approval for private evacuation flights from Afghanistan to land in third countries, even though the department conceded that official authorization would likely be needed for planes to land in those nations. I want to explain this. Yesterday, Blinken and the State Department said, this is just a paperwork snafu. That's all this is. First of all, something that goes on for days and days and days and gets people killed is not a snafu, okay? That's a deep problem. And it's a systemic problem, seemingly, in the State Department. So when we take off and we have a plane, we need permission to land at the airport, and we can get that. And then we need permission from the State Department that allows you to take off and land at another airport. The State Department explicitly stated that charter flights, even those containing American citizens, would not be allowed to land at Defense Department air bases. Okay, fine. Nobody's trying to land a plane at a DOD base. At least we're not. Some are. We're not. We have private airports. We have major airports in major cities. But see, the problem is the State Department needs to give us clearance to land there. Eric Montalvo, he organized a series of private flights evacuating those stranded in Afghanistan, shared an email and others with Fox News after his evacuation efforts were repeatedly hampered by the federal government. This is what the email says. I want you to listen to this. No independent charters are allowed to land at such an Air Force base. The military Air Force base you mentioned in your communication with Samantha Power. In fact, no charters are allowed to land at a DOD base, and most, if not all, countries in the Middle Eastern region, with the exception of perhaps Saudi Arabia, will allow charters to land. You will need to find another destination country, and it can't be the U.S. either, end quote. So what they're saying is, yeah, if you can get Saudi Arabia, maybe Saudi Arabia will do it, but you can't land at any DOD base, and you're not taking that airport to any place in the Middle East. Now, why is that? Because we've landed planes in the Middle East. Why is that? Because the State Department is now cracking down on these flights. Why would you do that? Well, they have a reason. They say because they don't know who's on this plane. They don't know who's on this plane. And it could very well be a terrorist. That's such bullcrap, and they know it. They're hoping you don't know it. First of all, everybody who is on the plane, there's a manifest. There has to be a manifest. Who's in every seat? That manifest goes through a government agency called OFAC. They go and look at that manifest and run it through their database. Okay? Then it goes to the State Department with OFAC's stamp of approval. They're just supposed to say, yes, it can land in these countries. All right. Once they're down on the ground, these people are checked again. It's like the State Department thinks that, you're just landing a plane in any country and they don't have, a passport office. When you get into a country, they ask you all kinds of questions. Well, it's worse for these people. Because these people aren't leaving the airport. They're going to another housing facility, usually on the airport, on the tarmac. They're never leaving the razor wire. And that's when these countries do the final check. Your name is on the manifest. That's you. Let me see your documentation. Let's talk a minute. How'd you get on this flight? What do you do for a living? All of those things are done. Now, They said, listen to this. First, in this memo, the State Department says you can't land in any Middle Eastern country. Maybe you can get Saudi Arabia, and you can't bring them here to the United States. Okay. Now, no independent charters are allowed to land at these military air bases. You will need to find another destination. Once you have had discussions with another host destination country and reached an agreement, they definitely will, they may require some indication from the U.S. government that we approve of this charter flight. Now, this is just so the United States government, they don't know who everybody is. They don't know what's going on. And they want to make sure that these charter flights are not human smugglers, that these aren't trafficking in human souls. And so what they do is they ask for the State Department, do you know about this flight? Do you approve of this flight? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, then we can land. If they say no, that country, it takes that as an indication that the United States is against that flight. That flight shouldn't land because they can't vouch for it. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea. No idea. We don't know who you're dealing with here. That is so insulting. And they are hoping that you don't know this. Let me continue. Once you've had discussions with the host destination country, reached an agreement, they may require some indication from the U.S. government that we approve of this charter flight. The Department of State will not provide an approval, but will provide a no objection to the destination country government via the U.S. Embassy in that country. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. These charters are the lifeline. The U.S. government has come out and they are taking credit for things. And I'm not talking about our flights. I don't care. I just want these people out. But I do know people who are working hard to get people out, and they're taking all the risk, doing all of the work. And the State Department is coming out and saying, we just got these people out. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You just, for some reason, gave that plane the ability to land. That's not getting people out. That's not saving. That's doing your basic job.
That's just not continuing their imprisonment.
Correct. That's it.
That's all.
That's
just checking a box.
That's it.
They also were trying to take credit for people who made it out by foot.
Yes.
That traversed the entire nation and exited to a neighboring country. And they're like, we got them out. What do you mean you got them out?
You didn't get them out. Here's Chuck Schumer yesterday. Listen to this. Cut one, please.
But at the moment, actually, I'm still focused on trying to get some of those brave Afghans out. The Americans, all of whom wanted to come out, have come out. Praise God.
No, they haven't.
But there are a lot of Afghans who risked their lives for our soldiers and others. Many got out, some didn't. And I'm still working on trying to get some of them out.
Stop. This is insulting again to your intelligence. He's working hard to get some of them out. Maybe he is. God bless him. Maybe he is. Maybe he's working with some organizations, and I know there's a lot of senators, some on both sides of the aisle, that are just as dedicated as you or I on trying to get these people out. But we all know the State Department is the biggest problem. We all know that. They are intentionally blocking, and it's not just the State Department. It is in collusion with the White House. And they're playing games like, they don't have the right paperwork. What do you mean they don't have the right paperwork? What paperwork do they need now? Well, they need to get a release from the embassy. There is no embassy. Quote, well, you're just going to have to figure that out. End quote. We're just going to have to figure that out? laughing, mocking. Hell, you're just going to have to figure that out. There is no embassy. What the hell game are you people playing? Our planes are down on the ground still. It was a week ago that I went in and did the Stu Show after a briefing. It was a week ago today where the State Department grounded our planes. Today is the day, a week ago, that I found out that the State Department grounded our planes and, what's worse, gave the manifest to the Taliban, including over 100 Americans. Those people are all now scattered. We hope they're all safe. We won't know until we can get approval to fly them out. Here's what's happening. Cam Airways, these are the people we purchased and rented these planes from. They're $750,000. I hope to God, I don't know this. I'm not running these operations. I hope to God we are not having to pay for every day that those planes sit on the ground. We may have to. How many people could be saved with that money alone? Hopefully that's not happening. But these planes, we have 4 of them that have been sitting on the ground, on the tarmac, for a week now. How could we have possibly gotten them out? Let me tell you how it should have worked and what the State Department is actually doing, I believe, right now. So here's what's happening. They trust the Taliban more than they trust these NGOs. The State Department does. And that's apparent because they will give the manifest to the Taliban because they say, we don't have people on the ground. Well, then get people on the ground. We have people on the ground. Why can't the almighty State Department put people on the ground? Are you afraid? Is it too dangerous for you? So they don't have people on the ground, so they can't vet people. That's why they don't want to do this. Let me tell you what happened. A week ago, the State Department got all bent out of shape because we and other NGOs are making them look bad. The American people are making them look bad because the American people are getting a job done. Well, they have one lever, and that is ground those planes. And so when they found out that we were flying planes at another airport while everybody was looking over here, damn right. That's what you do when you're saving lives. Look over there, look over there, look over there, while we're flying them out. Somebody gets a bug up their ass, and they're like, wait a minute, what? These 4 airplanes? Who was on these planes? You already have the manifest. They stopped it. They brought attention to that airport. The Taliban responded and shows up at that airport. Then they turn over the manifest because they don't want any trouble with the Taliban. And those people are sitting on the plane. Then they have to go into hiding. And you know what's happening right now? I can guarantee it. Cam Airways negotiates with the governments for the flights. They say, how much are your landing fees? How much are the takeoff fees? And every plane that you land or fly in has to pay those, every plane. So then they vary from airport to airport and country to country. They were negotiating with the Taliban, the ruling government now, and it might have cost maybe $100,000. I don't know, $50,000, who knows? But Cam Airways would have paid for that. That's what they do. But instead, the State Department came in. Now the State Department, with giant bags of money and all kinds of Christmas toys that the Taliban wants, now they are negotiating. And I can guarantee you they are negotiating for things that we would have never negotiated for. Why are you even talking to us? We don't have anything to do with that. I can guarantee you they are negotiating now to be recognized as the official government. You are going to see bags of cash. Now, they're going to do it in the middle of the night, but I'm telling you, bags of cash, pallets of cash the official sanctioning of the Taliban as the government, whatever it's going to be, and it's all going to happen because the federal government got in the middle of it and thought they needed to do it because the American people just can't do it. And they have screwed it up. And you are going to pay a financial price and a terror price for their mistakes. And I believe some of these people, if they haven't already, are going to pay the ultimate price with their lives. All because of ego and politics. All of it. Where is the compassion? Where is the common sense? Where the hell is the president? You notice this is all going to the State Department. But we have documentation and others have documentation that show the White House is intimately involved. You can't shut this down at just the State Department. The White House is involved in this. It's time to ask the questions, why? Why? And what are you negotiating for with the Taliban? Get out of our way and let people take care of it themselves because you are incapable of it.